Tim Cox is a man on the move.
So everything's a go for tonight.
His mission? Convince Americans to replace all 435 members of the House with true citizen representatives. It's a 24/7 road trip that requires shuffling through airports and eating on the run quite frequently.
The French onion soup.
In just the last month, Cox has bounced around nonstop to some 7 states, including Maryland, Arizona, New York, and Ohio, where we caught up with him.
Please welcome Tim Cox.
This Cleveland audience listens intently to the GO process. His challenge, getting the support of 500,000 Americans to make this a reality.
When we get 500,000 people rallied together, we'll start the process. We'll collect the signatures to get on the ballot. We'll raise the funds to advertise. We'll let you choose a candidate in your district, and everything will go forward.
So how does it work exactly? Well, first you fill out an online questionnaire about the issues of the day. Then you meet face-to-face with small groups within your district. Eventually you vote on the 2 people you want as your citizen representatives. Winners then move through rounds, just like a sports bracket, until you have a final true citizen representative from the district.
The Founding Fathers thought the key to the government was to have a true citizen legislator go to Washington, do the work of their people, and then go home.
Cox knows the process can sound intimidating, so part of his roadshow is to conduct mock selection sessions. When you come to one of these GO events, one of the main activities is filling out a candidate questionnaire, and that's exactly what these folks are doing behind me. As a matter of fact, they've divided up into groups of 6, and what's going to happen is that in each group there will be one candidate selected based on the answers. What are you for? What are you against when it comes to each of those issues? It truly is citizen representative government.
What's your thinking on that? Why would you vote for that?
Can you imagine the businesses that would come to Ohio if there was no income tax in Ohio?
I think if you've gone through this process and see what's happening, you will realize this is truly government by the people.
It's nice to listen to Glenn Beck and Bill O'Reilly and all of them, but they're just talking about the problem. This is a solution.
Cox points to Samuel Adams as the movement's inspiration. Over 200 years ago, Adams said, quote, "If ever a time should come when vain and aspiring men shall possess the highest seats in government, our country will stand in need of its experienced patriots to prevent its ruin."
They knew this day would come, and they said it would be us, the experienced patriots, that need to do something to prevent the ruin.
So how in the world did Tim Cox get to this point? After all, this guy helped design the first credit card reader at the gas pump and quit his job as a successful Dell computer executive back in 2007 to do this. He is self-financing this nonpartisan venture, for now at least.
This is my purpose in life, and this is why I'm here.
So one day out of the blue, in a bookstore, a woman told him to read a brilliant solution about the makings of the American Revolution. He did so reluctantly and was fascinated. For a while, he basically sat home complaining about how Congress was totally broken. Then, as he tells radio show hosts around the country, it was a conversation with his son that got him off the couch.
I just complained a little too loud. I don't think he'd ever really seen me go off like that. And he kind of flippantly said, "Hey, Dad, you're supposed to be a smart guy. You tell us not to complain about stuff. Why don't you go fix it?"
And leave it to a computer guy to come up with a process to do just that.
In the computer world, when you want to fix stuff, what you do is you understand the root cause of a problem. And I said, this one's easy.
Cox believes he has identified these 4 problems in Congress: special interest money, too much party influence, politicians focused on self-preservation, and no accountability. So in Cox's system, citizen representatives would have to sign a legal document committing them to vote the way they said they would in their candidate questionnaire.
Our founder, Tim Cox.
At these events, the biggest complaint Cox hears from people is that the GO citizen candidate may split the vote. Cox acknowledges that that could be an issue.
The members of the House of Representatives, they know it's broken. And I believe the true patriots among them, as we get bigger, they will step aside.
Getting bigger is the key, but it's going to take people getting off the couch, like Tammy Roche.
A lot of Christians got this idea that, well, you know, the Lord's in control and we just got to sit back and he's going to take care of it. You know, that's true. God is in control, but he expects us to do our part. He helps those who help themselves.
Cox has state directors in nearly every state and hundreds of volunteers. 60,000 members are signed up now, but over 200,000 seem to be in reach. So as Cox packs up for his next trip, he hopes he can seal the deal with America.
This is a bandwagon country. Once we get those 500,000 and we start pushing this forward, all those people that are afraid, they'll join. We're in search of the tipping point.
In the meantime, no pun intended, but Cox goes about his business, whether it's sitting alone doing radio interviews in hotel ballrooms or getting driven from Cleveland to Columbus in the middle of a snowy winter night in Ohio by fellow Go volunteers.
How you doing, man?
For Cox, it's all worth it.
It's like 1 a.m. and you're in the snow in Ohio.
Yeah?
You're like, this is crazy.
This is what I meant to do. I mean, think what our founding fathers went through, right? Think of George Washington crossing the Delaware, right? This is nothing, right? We're out here in a little bit of snow changing cars for 5 minutes.
That's right.
Right? We can do this.
A bold plan by a computer guy who solves problems for a living.
I'm absolutely convinced that 100 years from now, the history books are going to tell the story of the Go Revolution. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
David Brody, CBN News, on the road in Columbus, Ohio.